Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ralph Gonsalves, responds to Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Browne, in regards to the Citizenship by Investment program. Now this all started a few weeks ago when Dr. Ralph Gonsalves made a statement that the Caribbean Citizenship by Investment program has a lot of problems, a lot of corruption, a lot of money leaking here and there, and it is not sustainable, and he doesn't agree with it. Well, Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda came back and responded to that statement. Well, we have the Prime Minister of St. Vincent just about a day ago responded to the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Browne, and I will play for you his response. I'll have a listen of this.
Also, big tonight, the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States countries that operate citizenship by investment CBI programs, also known as CIP, should not expect any solidarity on the issue from St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister, Ralph Gonsalves. Gonsalves is again defending his government's opposition to CBI in the aftermath of a scathing response earlier this month by his Antiguan colleague Gaston Browne to suggestions by Gonsalves that CBI programs are inherently corrupt.
I'm always in favor of us in the region trying to see if everybody could hold one common head. But those four reasons are so powerful, I can't hold a common head on anybody with that.
The Antigua Prime Minister had accused Gonsalves of adopting the position of developed countries that have opposed to any innovation that developing countries devise to carve out a space for themselves. On Monday, Gonsalves dismissed Browne's comments, saying his administration will not budge on the matter.
I don't really anything to say about what Gaston said. I don't think he advances the discussion at all. And to the extent that there has to be an answer, my answer is in what I stated initially.
Gonsalves says the passport of his country is sacred and will never be up for sale.
As I always say, the passport is the outward sign of the inward grace of citizenship, and citizenship is the highest office in the land. Neither is a commodity for sale.
The Vincentian Prime Minister's pushed back against the opposition there, what has backed the idea of introducing a CBI program, a matter that could become a main debating point in the lead up to general elections, likely there this year. Gonsalves, whose country is one of the few with relations with Taiwan, seen by China as a renegade province, has suggested that the push to have St. Vincent adopt a CBI program is being supported by Chinese actors whom he claimed, without providing evidence, are prepared to bankroll the opposition's campaign.
That's why they're joining up with people with the get rid of Taiwan and China. So there's a confluence of interests because the Chinese companies too selling passports. You want to undermine a government which has brought such benefits to the people for the last 24 years? No. That ain't going to happen. St. Vincent and the Grenadines respects the Chinese civilization. I admire it greatly. I'm a student of the Chinese civilization. And we don't subscribe to a one China policy. There's a one Chinese civilization, and you can have different political expressions out of that civilization. Why you want to come and undermine my democracy to get a government, to get a party to come in to do that?
That's the first I've heard of what the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines said, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, about the Chinese backing the opposition party in St. Vincent. And if victorious, that opposition party will get rid of Taiwan, um, do diplomatic relations with China instead, and introduce citizenship by investment program in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I've never heard of that story before, but the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines just released that. Now back to the citizenship by investment program in the Caribbean region, in the Eastern Caribbean. The islands that are involved in it is Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, Grenada, Dominica, and St. Lucia. These are the Caribbean islands that are involved in citizenship by investment program, where they get investors, wealthy people from around the world, to invest as little as $250,000 into the country, and they will get a passport for these various islands. Some countries, they just ask people to provide the money. They don't have to invest anything, just give them the money and they will issue a passport. My problem with the citizenship by investment program is that more can be done to develop these islands rather than a few agents making millions of dollars while the citizens of the country, most of them don't benefit anything from the sales of their passport, their national identity. So I'm saying that the monies can be used better to develop a more sustainable Caribbean island nations. If you're gonna sell citizenship by investment program, why not use it to benefit the people? And if the people are not gonna be benefited, if you're not gonna develop the country, then doesn't make any sense, because all that program will be used to do is to get a handful of people very wealthy in the country. So I don't agree with that part. If you're going to use it to develop the country, build proper industries, provide essential services in the country, make sure it's 100% employment.